This time we're gonna start looking at the arm of the lamp. I am going to start off by using this piece here, Control D to duplicate again. I have already created this section here that I can reuse for the arm, so I'm going to do just that. I'm going to hit Control D once more, and I'm going to move it down, and I'm going to go to the rotate tool and hit J to snap it so 90 degrees. And all I need to do is merge these two together now, and then that will make one arm of my lamp. So I need to combine them first. Actually, what I'm going to do, let's see. No, I'll combine them first and then I'll modify them after. Okay, so select both of them, mesh, combine, hit combine. So they are merged together now. And right click, edge, double click on the edge, hold shift, double click on the other edge, and then you can hit bridge. And that will merge them together. I can now get rid of these edges here that you see. I don't need them. So I can double click on them, hold Control and backspace to get rid of it. And do the same for the bottom. So you hit Control backspace to make sure that you get rid of the vertices as well. I'll undo and just show you the difference. So if I just hit backspace on its own, you can see if I go to vertex, the vertices are still there. Whereas if I need to go back to edge, if I double click, hold Control and backspace, then the vertices disappear. So that's what I want to make sure that I get rid of. Do not want those vertices there at all. So then what I need to do is put this into the right place. So I need this in the right position. I need to move the pivot point because again it needs to be right for animation. I want the arm to move from this bottom section here. So I'm going to hold D and V and then just snap it down there. And then I can hit V again and I can snap it to the center point of this. And I'm just going to turn the grid on so I can see where it is and then just snap it like that. So say if we were ready to animate it now, there is my upper or my lower or upper arm. We haven't named them yet, so we'll sort that out afterwards. So it can rotate from that position there. I could also modify this, so I'm going to use this one to rotate the lamp left and right, and then this one can go like forwards and backwards like that as well. So that's looking pretty good. I need to move this into the center, so hit X again. I'm going to snap it into the center, make sure it's in the center. I am going to make this wider, a little bit wider. Like that maybe, just to make it a little bit thicker. I'm gonna now kind of get this aligned up properly as well. So I want this to be very close to the edge, so I can hold Control D and V at the same time again, and then snap it into the absolute correct place like that. So that's looking pretty nice there. And then I can scale this up. I hope it's wide enough that it doesn't go over the edge. Yeah, that's fine. So that's perfect as well. I'm gonna leave it like that for now. Again, isolate this and I'm gonna get rid of the bottom. So go to face, hold tab, select, click and drag the bottom, get rid of them, hit delete, go back out of isolate, and then that is my bottom piece. What I'm actually gonna do, I think that's a little bit low, so what I'm gonna do is just move these up a little bit. So I'm gonna say, let's see, maybe this, maybe there. I'll try this one to start with, and I'll move the vertices of these down. to that point. And remember, this is 3D, so I've only done one side, so I need to do it for the other side as well. Move it down like that, and then modify this as well. So I just want to give this a little bit more thickness so it looks a little bit more believable. I don't really want to have like a small tiny hinge on there, so that looks better now, I think. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So again, then just snap it into place like that there. So that's pretty good. Yeah, happy with that. So now basically what I want to do is get this into place. So I'm going to make this longer. I'm going to extend this top part. I might just rotate this first. So I'm going to rotate it, say that's 15 degrees. So I'm using the snap tool. So rotating, holding J to snap, and I'm going to snap it 15. I'm going to go to vertex, and I'm going to move this up. Now you can see that there's a problem that I can't move it up in a straight line. I want this to be going in a straight line like this here. All I can do is kind of like stretch it like this, and that's going to mess up the curve that I've got, and it's just going to be, it's not going to look good. What I can do instead, if I hold Control Shift and then right click, I get these options here, mainly these two that I want to look at, world and object. So currently we are on world. Basically that means that the axis or the gizmos are always going to align to the world. They're going to be straight no matter what. They're always going to follow the lines of the grid points here. But if I go and hold Control Shift and right click and change it to object, you see it'll follow the direction of the object. So that's what I want to have there, and that will allow me to move this the way that I want now. So I can move it up and down at an angle. I'm going to go into my side view and do something like that there. I'll put it about there and then just see how it goes. So that's pretty good there. And then I can go to object mode again. And you see that's perfectly fine. Next then, I'm going to duplicate it. And I am going to move this. Just for easiness, I'm going to hold Control and Shift and right click again and just go back to world. I want to snap this into position now, so I'm going to move it up to this point here. Just make sure that I get it in line properly. Alright, so this time now you see that they're on top of each other. I can't do that. I need to have them to the side of each other. So again, I'm going to modify the pivot, move it over, and then snap it into place again. And then I'll hit Control D, duplicate it, do the same on the other side. Move the pivot, make sure that you're using the point snap, and then rotate it into place. Now what I want to do is kind of align this properly. So I'm going to see what the rotation looks like first of all if I snap it. So that's pretty good there. So I'm going to snap both of them into that position there. That looks pretty good. Yeah, happy with that. Alright, so basically what I'm going to do now, I'm happy with the positioning of this section here. I don't want that to be changed or anything now. I'll just move the top of the lamp to align with this section here, so that's completely fine there as well. Last thing that I want to do then is to have some sort of connector to connect this piece here onto the arm of the lamp. What I'm going to do is copy this. So I'm going to create a duplicate again and just copy it up here for now. And we'll use that in a second. I'm actually going to, well, delete these faces first, and then I will duplicate it again. Now, basically, I'm returning this into a sphere. I don't necessarily want to try and recreate another one because I may not get it exactly the right shape or the right size of the curve here. So I'm just going to recreate it using itself. And I'm going to snap it now, so snap it into place. Again, I'm actually going to duplicate once more. Now I do have a plan for this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to merge these together, and then I'm going to bridge this section to this section here. So I've got a nice cylinder that I can extrude out the side of this as well. It'll make more sense once I have done it. So I'm going to first combine these, mesh, combine, go to vertex, and I'm going to merge these vertices together, because currently at the moment I've combined them, but they are still separate. So I want to make sure that they are merged together. So I'm going to select the vertices that I want to merge, so it's the ones down the middle. Remember again that this is in 3D, so just clicking on one doesn't mean that they're both selected. Remember, there are two on top of each other, so I need to select both of these. Click and drag to select, and I'm going to find the merge tool. There we go, merge, and then I can just hit W again, and then whenever I go to face, now it's all one object. They've been merged together. I'm gonna go just once again into the grid. I'm gonna see what this looks like when it's snapped to the grid. Again, I like to keep them kind of ordered. I think that's no, maybe a little bit more. I'm gonna make it that long, so I'm gonna make it that distance there. Doesn't really matter again if yours isn't exactly the same as mine. We're doing it slightly different. Mesh, I'm going to combine this again. I want to merge this piece here to this section here, but at the moment it's not going to work because there's too many edges and there are faces here already, so I can't actually merge that together. What I need to do is basically get rid of the bottom part, or I can extrude it. So I'm going to extrude it and then just modify like the way that this works. So I'm going to select the bottom half, select all the faces, and then hold shift and extrude it down, and I can use the scale tool and flatten the faces out like that. That is perfect. And then all I'm going to do is delete the bottom. So I've got rid of them. Next thing that I want to do, I'm going to use a new tool that I haven't looked at yet, I don't think. It's called the Target Weld, and I think it's under Mesh Tools now. Target Weld there, so that's it there. Click on Target Weld. What I can do is click on one vertex and drag it down to another one that I want to attach it to, and then it will merge itself. Now, what I can also do is do multiple vertices at the same time, and what you have to do is hold shift first, click on the vertices that you want to drag, and then drag them down to where you want to attach them. So I can do it that way. So hold shift, click on the edges, and then drag them into place, and then do the same for the other side. Hold shift, click them all, drag them down. That one is going in the middle, so I can leave it there. Hold shift, click them all, and then drop them down. So basically what I did there is I merged these two shapes, but you can see now I've still got my circle shape here. So what I can do is hold tab, select this circle, go around to the other side, select this one as well, and I can still extrude using the circle shape. So that's basically what I wanted to keep there. I wanted to be able to extrude out in that circle shape still. I don't want to make it too big, so I'm going to make it roughly that size there. That looks okay to me. Yep, happy with that. And then basically what I can do, again, modify the pivot. So D and V, snap it down to here. And then I'm going to snap this into place as well. Like so. And then go rotate, hold J, and rotate it by 90. So basically all I need to do now is move this into the right place here. And then kind of just modify the connector here to work with this shape here. We'll look at kind of fixing that section up in the next video, and then we'll kind of maybe add a little bevel to this object here as well, just to finish this off. We also need to clean up this here section, get rid of all these groups that we don't need anymore, and we need to name everything. So it's very important for animation to name these. So again, we are going to name these before we go any further as well.